Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Baby Brigade. Hope everybody's having a good, Thursday night, early Friday morning now. Y'all know me. I'm a night owl. It's kind of what I do. Feeling a little bit better. I just finished the antibiotic that I got from the ER the other week, a week from, anyway. I just finished the antibiotic, and I think maybe the biggest part of the kidney stone issue was the infection. And now that infection has been beat. And even though I'm still having some discomfort from the kidney stones themselves, it is manageable. So I think the infection was causing most of the pain, and the infection is gone because I took all the antibiotics on time like I was supposed to. Like a good patient. I'm not always a good patient though. But this time I was, because I wanted desperately to feel better. So anyway, I'll give y'all a little update because I think last night I forgot to give y'all an update on some things. Well, yesterday I made some phone calls, and my Medicaid is fine. Apparently there was a little something in the system that they had as part of my Medicaid that might have been causing problems with the Medicare system that shouldn't have been something to do with family planning that I don't need because I've had a hysterectomy and there's no need for family planning when you know, that would be some kind of trick to need family planning at 50 years old and had a hysterectomy and don't date. That would be some sort of divine intervention if I suddenly needed family planning coverage, wouldn't it? Anyway, so the Medicaid worker that I spoke with took that off, said that it would be effective March 1st, and that whatever issues that may have been causing with my Medicare Advantage program, that would clear that up. And my other Medicaid coverage that pays for my Medicare Part B coverage, that is still in place, and that's not a problem on the back end. So okay. So I called Humana, who I have my plan through, and apparently they have just completely closed out all my stuff. And I have to completely reopen a whole new policy. But at the time they got me over to someone to do that, the system that they needed to do that in was down for maintenance. And so the young man arranged to call me back tomorrow, Friday. Well, you know, it is 1:45 a.m. So anyway, I told him don't call me in the early morning, so he's going to call me about noonish. Perfect. So anyway, hopefully by the first part of March 1st, I should be back up and going with my coverage. And so I called, and I was supposed to have an appointment with my regular doctor today, and I had to call and cancel that one. And I told the girl what was going on. She said, well, as soon as you get coverage again, feel free to call us back and reschedule. And I was like, I will. So, and then I decided today that John and I would ride out to his old school and see if we could get our hands on the paperwork needed for his program. And since I was feeling a lot better physically. And apparently they don't have that stuff at the school, but they have it at the evaluation center that handled all the IEP program situation for his special education class that he was in there. And so she gave me the name and number of somebody to call. And so I called and left a voicemail. And then John and I went to lunch at our Mexican restaurant we like to eat at called Tamales. Anyway, and so I went and got me a taco salad. And you know, they had the tortilla taco bowl, and it took me 3 times to eat it all, but oh, you know, that's what doggy bags are for, right? To go boxes. But it was good. Johnny ate all his food. Right, he had some enchiladas and a crispy taco, and he hadn't eaten yet when we got to the restaurant to eat, so he ate everything. And because let me tell you what John does. He sort of knows what he likes, but he doesn't know how to express it he knows what he likes, but he doesn't know he just doesn't know. He's indecisive. He's very indecisive. So he'll be staring at the menu, and I'm like, "You want me to pick it?" And because he'll stare at the menu for 10 or 15 minutes, at least. And the waitress will come by at least twice. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? And so he stares at it until I say, "John, you want me to pick your stuff out for you?" And then I know he wants the enchiladas with the queso sauce, queso cheese on it. You know, that's what he always wants. And so, you know, that's what I ordered him, and I always want the taco salad. And this time, because last time they put I get the one with beef, and the beef was just a little too much. They put a lot of beef in there, so I asked them to put half of the beef in there, and not as and more lettuce, So they did that, and it worked out really well. And then I asked for a side order of guacamole because fresh guacamole is so good. And so that's what I had. And of course, like I said, it took me 3 times to eat it. I ate some there at the restaurant, and then I got a to-go box, and then ate on it a couple of times here and finished it. But yeah, when you've had the gastric bypass surgery, you can't eat everything all at once like that. Even though it's not a very big salad, but I can't eat all that because it comes with an edible bowl, and of course I'm going to eat that. Very slowly, but I'm going to. Because it's one of my favorite meals in the whole world. So yes, I'm going to have that. But tamales is always their food is always so freshly made, and it's very well Americanized, authentic. They have real Mexicans working there, and which I like, because if you're going to a restaurant that serves a particular kind of food, it's nice that they have those type people working there. And they're always so friendly, and the service is always top notch, and the decor is very bright and cheerful and very authentic, and I like that very much. And not that there's not other Mexican places here in town that are like that. That just happens to be my favorite spot. There's another spot that I used to go to, and it just went downhill. The food stopped being so good, and the service went downhill, and I was like, no. And then we tried tamales a couple of 2 or 3 years ago, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely fantastic, and so I just go back there. I don't mess with a good thing. Once you find a good thing, you just stick with it. You just stick with it. Like Juan and his Dunkin' Donuts coffee. He found a good thing, and he just sticks with it. You can't beat it once you find that good thing. You just stick with it. So now we had our lunch, and then we came back here, and I got to working on Cindy's sweater. But I put my music on, and I have a playlist on my phone called Road Music. And Road Music is a playlist that I made some years back when John and I headed to Biloxi, Mississippi, which is on the Gulf Coast. It's down there where the beach is, and that's our little place that we like to road trip to and enjoy ourselves at the beach, and just have a good time down there. They have the museum down there that exhibits different things, but it's like a pottery museum. They have artisanal pottery, and just some of the most beautiful things you've ever seen in your life. I have a little fish. I'll have to bring it in here next time, but there's a little fish that I bought there that someone handcrafted, and it's shiny. But it's just a little fish that holds your toothbrush. If I was going to put it in there anyway, but I don't put anything in there. I just have it sitting there so that I can look at it. And it reminds me of my Biloxi trip, and it's just real pretty. It's blue, of course, like a blue-green color, and it's just a shiny little fish. And but yeah, I just like to go and sit at the beach. I don't want to get in the water. I just like to sit and watch the waves come in. It's very calming and relaxing. And so the road music playlist was made for that trip, because I do all the driving. Johnny doesn't drive. So Johnny, being my youngest son, who's autistic, in case y'all didn't know that. But he's 24. He'll be 25 in May. And I do all the driving, and it's about 6-ish hours. And so I like all different types of rock music. I know with this accent I should like country music. I like a couple of country western singers. I like Garth Brooks. Love Garth Brooks. And I like Colter Wall. He's kind of a younger of a younger generation. He's I guess a millennial, but when he sings, he sounds like he's straight from the westerns that I grew up watching. He has this very deep. He's from Saskatchewan, Canada, and his name's Colter Wall. If y'all ever get a chance to look him up, and he has the most deepest, wonderfulest sounding voice. And his music, it just touches something inside me that reminds me of a better time, you know. And so him and Garth Brooks are the only two really country music type, that genre that I can really tolerate. Otherwise, it's rock and it's blues music. So it would probably shock y'all to hear some of the music I was listening to this evening. Bands like System of a Down, Seether, Korn, and shocking Nickelback. Even though around this area, don't say that too loud that you listen to Nickelback. People look at you like, ah. I don't know why. I really don't know. I'm a Gen Xer. I have no idea why they hate on Nickelback. Nickelback was okay when I was younger. They were perfectly fine. I don't know why the newest generation hates on them. I don't understand. And Evanescence, yeah, I like them too. I'm trying to think of I got some new school mixed with old school, you know, like old school like Skid Row, Guns N' Roses, you know, Led Zeppelin, what was that? Deep Purple. Oh yeah, old school. Because, you know, they got that song Smoke on the Water. And I kept trying to tell my youngest son that there's a story behind Smoke on the Water. And he's like, yeah, right. So I Googled it, of course. And I went and found the story behind it, and I showed it to him. I said, see, there really was a fire at a casino called the Montrose Casino. It was overseas. I can't remember if it was in France or Sweden because they really didn't specify in the article whether it was Sweden or France, but it was called Montrose Casino. But some idiot that was from the Czech Republic, they called him a Czech. He was Czech, and he shot a flare gun into the ceiling of this Montrose Casino where they were having a gig, and they were doing some recording of music. And while Deep Purple was performing, and it burnt the casino down. But miracle of miracles, no one died. Everyone got out. But in the song, they talk about, you know, the fire. And they talk about them pulling kids out. And, you know, and they talk about the fire in the song. And then, of course, they talk you know, and I was reading about the lineage of the song and how it didn't even become a hit until the late 70s, even though they wrote the song in the early 70s. And they didn't even release it on radio right away because it was a longer song than the radio were wanting to play at the time. And so it didn't even get released in the States until the late 70s. And then it became an instant hit. Once it was finally on the radio, everybody was like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. Because it has this amazing bass riff in it. Dun, 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 dun. And it was just, you know, everybody went crazy over that riff. It's still awesome. I don't care who you are. You hear Smoke on the Water, you're stopping what you're doing to listen to that song. I don't care who you are. So, yeah. I don't care what generation you're from. You hear that riff, you know that that's the song you're listening to. It never gets old. I love it. So yeah, there's a story behind it. And there's stories behind a lot of songs. And that's what makes music so impactful, I think. And at least songs from the 70s and 80s, and still sometimes you get lucky and you hear a song that there's actually a story behind. But there's so many of them nowadays that don't have any meaning to them whatsoever. And those are the songs I can't listen to. If there's not some meaning behind it, or at least a story, something that makes it catchy. Yeah. That's why I like the blues so much, because it's catchy, and it pulls you along for the ride. But some of these things that they sing about nowadays, like, who's got the best car, who's got the best girl, who can wear the nicest clothes. Really, that's what you're focusing on? Really, that's what's important to you? Back in the 70s, they were worried about surviving a fire that someone started in a casino. For real, for real. Anyway, so I did get some happy mail from Lauren, who lives in New Jersey. She left a comment on a video, and I remember her comment. She didn't email me. She just, in a comment on one of my videos, she said she had sent me some happy mail, and it was supposed to be here on the 17th. Well, it made it a couple of days early. And I'm assuming this is what she was talking about, is a box from Michael's. Because when John and I come back home today, there was a box from Michael's on the porch, on the doorstep, and I hadn't ordered anything from Michael's. I've been kind of being good on the yarn front lately. And so I'm going to show you what she sent. And she was extremely generous, and I'm extremely grateful. But she mentioned how we both love turquoise and aqua, and that she lives in a beachy house, or on the Jersey Shore, I think is what she said in her comment. But I tried to email her, but her screen name for YouTube is not her email address, so it wouldn't let me email her. But she sent me 6 of these Karen big cakes, and apparently they got roughed up in transit, but that's okay. It'll still work. But this is I'm gonna read you the specs. It's a 4-weighted yarn. It recommends a 5mm crochet hook and needle, machine washable and dryable. It's 10 ounces, 300 grams, 603 yards, 551 meters. It's 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. This color is called boysenberry, because it's got the turquoise. It's really beachy colors. It really is. It's got peach and this little creamy color. Almost, it's a cream color, but it's near about yellow, pale yellow almost. But it's more cream, and then it's got this turquoise and this little lilac color. But it's definitely could be like a beach blanket, I'm thinking, because she sent 6 of these. That blew me away when I opened that box and seen 6 of these. I was like, oh my goodness. But I think she got on the buy one get one 50% off thing, which is good. I'm glad she got a deal on them. So, but she did send a little thing in here, and there was a little note about her being a new subscriber, which is what, yeah. And she said, I too love turquoise. And then her comment got cut off. So I'm pretty sure this is from Lauren. So thank you so much, Lauren. And I will keep y'all up to date on what I decide to do with this. But I'm thinking blanket, since there's so much of it. A big blanket. A really big blanket. Probably for the bed. I sleep in a queen size bed, so a queen size blanket, more than likely. What style, I don't know yet. Maybe that ripple that I like so much. But yeah, 6 of those. And then I'll show you the progress on Cindy's sweater. I finally got the second square done tonight while I was listening to the The road playlist. See here. Yep. So Cindy wanted a 4X. So with the 4X pattern, there's body shaping involved. You do 24 rounds on the squares, and then you do 5 rows on each side of the square, and then you do 3 rows on each side of your neck hole, which is what I've done here in this orchid frost color. But here's my rows on each side. Looks like I'm going to use 3 cakes is what, because each it took 1 whole cake to do each square, and I had this is what I had left out of each cake that I did the squares with. But I've got the shaping, the side shaping and the shoulder shaping done on this one, and then I'll get it done on this other one. Oh, of course my hanger decides to hang up on the other square, and so I got this other one to do. Won't take long. And I think I've decided that instead of doing the ribbing, the back post ribbing along the bottom like I normally do, I'm going to do shells instead. I'm going to do a pretty little shell border around the bottom for her, and then do the same thing with her sleeves. And the complementing color, I have I was gifted from a Happy Mail a skein of orchid, big twist orchid, that I think will work really well with this this sweater, and I'm going to use it to do the bottom trim and the edging on her sleeves. And I'm going to just put a little shell edging around her sleeves and a little shell edging around the bottom of it, and I think that would be really pretty. And instead of the ribbing, I'm going to just do a little shell and make it a little more, you know, girly, since she's grandmother of she just had a new granddaughter. So I think that'll be really pretty. I think she's still out there with her daughter and the new grandbaby. I don't know. I didn't ask her when she was going back to Illinois, but I'm sure probably pretty soon. Maybe she's been out there about almost a week. But goodness, thirsty. But it looks like things are looking up. I should have my Medicare Advantage program back by, hopefully, by March 1st. And things are looking positive in the direction of getting Johnny in that program. So hopefully, that lady sounded like she, at the evaluation center, sounded like she was really on board with helping us. So hopefully we've got the right people in play to help us do that. I feel a bit better, a bit less stressed maybe than I have in a few days. And the fact that my kidney stones are not as aggravated as they were, because the infection is now gone. And so that's helping too, that I'm not in as much pain as I was. That's helping a lot. And I have to attribute that also to the prayers from all of you, and I greatly appreciate that. Prayers always help. But that's about all I got tonight. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some news from the lady. We have to go grocery shopping tomorrow probably. I'm going to try to... Sorry, I almost got a text message. I was turning my head sideways to read it. Y'all ever do that? That's from Cindy too. She don't know I'm recording a video showing off her sweater. She's way behind in watching my videos. I'm not worried. By the time she sees this video, she'll probably already have her sweater. She'll have it. I'll be finished with it and get it in the mail next week. I'll probably have it finished by Monday at the latest, knowing me. Anyway, but I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I'm going to go do some more on this sweater and find that skein of yarn that it's over there or behind me. One of the, I'm surrounded by yarn, y'all. So I'm not sure exactly where I put that skein of orchid. But it's in one of my little square bucket things. So, yeah. I know what it's in. I just not sure if it's over there or if it's behind me over here. But I know I know about where it is. I have to go on a field trip apparently. But anyhow, I'm feeling a little bit better spirits, and that's, that's good. I'm glad to be feeling a little better. And John and I talked about going and walking in the mall just to get some steps in. We got a few steps in today because we had to walk down a long hall at the school, and then turn around and walk back down the hall to get to where the van was parked. So we got some steps in today. So we hope we can get some more steps in tomorrow, and might go walking in the mall just to go walk and get some steps in, and some exercise. It helps you sleep when you get exercise in. And I didn't sleep very well last night, so hopefully I'll sleep better tonight. Oh, excuse me. That's that carbonated strawberry water. Oh, well. But thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate all your support. It's been a big help, and definitely feel the prayers. So please remember that I love you, and so does Jesus. And please adopt, don't shop. Your best friend could be waiting for you at the shelter or the rescue. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye now.